Your Denver Broncos just get some good and some bad and some surprising news on the injury front before heading into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Some advanced analytics come out that just make me wonder, why is anyone picking against the Broncos on Sunday? We're breaking that down and way more in this video. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben. Helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton. If you like the Broncos, would you smash that like and subscribe button? So all season, like, we've been just getting through with this defensive line that's just been absolutely dominating. But in the back of our minds, we're like, ooh, do you remember the best run stopper on this defense is on IR, slated to return week 5? Well, this is week 5. And the way all the players talked about Malcom Roach up to this week, I was like, full hog saying the Broncos were going to activate Malcom Roach. DJ Jones came out and just said, like, I'd be lying if I said we did not miss him. Not just on the field, but like the energy that he brings, the hype that he brings each day. He hypes everybody up. This is the type of player you want in your locker room because he balls out of control and then he lifts all ships. So I was excited to have him back. Well, the Broncos have not yet activated his return to play window, and he did not practice today. So that is definitely a big surprise. I think that would have made me feel even more confident to stop Saquon Barkley and the Eagles offense. To have an answer against the tush push is like, you just load that front line up with a bunch of guys. And now we saw last week the Broncos activated Savion Jones, and he played like, you know, as a rookie defensive lineman. Is he going to be able to be as stout against the tush push as, say, Malcom Roach? I'm not sure. But the rest of the news in this video is absolutely fantastic, and so don't get too down about that because the Broncos have still not trailed in a fourth quarter. Even without Malcom Roach, this defense is just going to be better whenever he comes back. The bad news of the day was that we had no Quinn Meinerz, but we later heard that he missed today because it was an illness. So that's really good. Sean Payton came out and said, hey, not worried about Quinn Meinerz. He's going to be fine. He's sick. So you just hope that sickness does not spread to the rest of the locker room. Hope he's just like masked up or just not coughing all over everyone, but we'll keep you updated on that. Other good news is that we know Marvin Mims, the day before our game against the Cincinnati Bengals, popped up on the injury report with a hip injury, but then he looked great in that game. So he was a full practice. Evan Engram coming off that back injury, full practice participant, and then Nate Adkins as well. So just looking, it is rare this late into the season after playing a divisional opponent 2 weeks ago and it being an incredibly physical game. All you got to do is go out and look at injury reports for other teams, and you see that it's going to take you like 10 minutes to scroll through them. I love the fact that our injury report is very short, and knowing Malcom Roach, Dre Greenlaw are coming back at some point, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Now, some of these advanced analytics, we just look here. The rest of the league thinks we have zero chance in this game. I'll remind you that last year we were 6.5-point underdogs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were a very, very good team, and the Broncos went in and mollywop them, and this was the exact situation we found ourselves in, that we were a lot better than the national media thought, and some advanced analytics are coming in that just have me be like, how are we underdogs at all in this game? So first one that comes in here is this is your running back leaderboard when it comes to rush EPA. And who's weighing in at number 2? When is the last time you could even say that with a straight face? Like the Broncos have the second best running back in football when it comes to EPA. That is absolutely wild. And you notice at first glance of this, you don't see Saquon Barkley's name on there. In fact, if you look at it just at this year, and I know that's a big caveat, J.K. Dobbins is playing better this year so far than Saquon Barkley. And that's not a homer take. That is an objective reality. Other thing to look at here is when you take a look at pass catch leaderboards when it comes to EPA for a wide receiver, who comes in at number 4, Courtland Sutton. And again, you look at this list and who's not on this list. There's not a single Philadelphia Eagle on that list because their Philadelphia Eagles top wide receiver is making cryptic tweets about how he wants to get out of there because he's not respected and he doesn't get the ball. Obviously, a wide receiver is not going to show up on this list when your quarterback does not have a completion in the second half of their last game. A lot of people are saying like, oh, the Eagles are 4-0. Like, why are you disrespecting him? And I'm not disrespecting him. They've won 20 straight games. But if you take a look at the game they just won against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they did that without Mike Evans, who's a wide receiver 1. They did that without their starting running back for the bulk of that game and Bucky Irving. And then the other big injury was Tristan Wirfs was hurt. So their best offensive lineman was down too, and they barely hung on to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I just think that, and their other big victory of the year was against a Chiefs team who we all have seen that they're overhyped and overrated at this point in the season, and they beat them without. That was when Xavier Worthy was still out, and they barely hung on to beat them. And their other big win of the year was against the Cowboys that you would think they would dominate, and they didn't. And so just pump the brakes on the Philadelphia Eagles love, Because on top of that, not only do we have a top 2 running back right now when it comes to EPA, a top 4 wide receiver when it comes to EPA, you look at PFF and they are saying that we have the best pass rush in football. Again, not a homer take, an objective reality. We have 15 sacks. Everyone thought we were going to be off of our pace of last year. We're on pace to shatter last year's record when it comes to the amount of times we've hit the quarterback. And just wait again until Malcom Roach and Dre Greenlaw get back in the action. We pressure the quarterback unlike any other team, and then our pressure rate, it's like half of the time a quarterback drops back, they're going to be under pressure, and that's just the position you want to be. So then go to the other side here, and you look at, okay, how's our offensive line? Well, according to PFF, we also have the best offensive line in football. So if we have, objectively, the best defense in football, the best offensive line in football, a top 2 running back, a top 4 wide receiver, I just don't see why it seems like I'm taking crazy pills and everyone else is picking the Eagles to just come in and dominate us. I'm just, what is not making sense to me? I know Philadelphia is a tough place to play. I know that this is an 11 a.m. start time, and I know we were playing Monday night until 10 o'clock at night. One of the beautiful things about that game against the Bengals was the fact that that game was over at halftime, and so our top edge rushers only had to play 60% of that game. We were able to hold them out, so I think we're entering this game in a really, really good position when it comes to those things. Other thing here that it's just seeing how good Bo Nix is at avoiding pressure. So their defensive line is definitely dropped back a couple of steps from what they were last year. We remember that Super Bowl caliber defense hit Patrick Mahomes and sacked him 6 times on 4-man pressures, but they lost a lot of talent there, and so they are getting after the quarterback. But who is the best at avoiding hits from the quarterback? It's Bo Nix, and he is just going to continue to get better. We see that he's in line for AFC Player of the Week last week because of his production there, career high from Bo Nix. When Bo Nix figures things out, it's dangerous for the rest of the league, and I really think he figured things out against the Cincinnati Bengals. Last little stat here that'll get you hyped up is this is the number of snaps a team has had the ball with the lead at in this 2025 season. And you see there's only one team in football who has had the lead for more offensive snaps than your Denver Broncos, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have not played that stiff of competition yet. So that's just a testament to this Denver Broncos defense is very good. They have been in the lead for the bulk of the games or the bulk of the snaps that they've played this year. And again, you're looking here like Philadelphia Eagles are well behind us in this route. They are just in the position here to get knocked off, and it's going to be incredible. Then we're just seeing more third-party testament to how good Bo Nix is, as Colin Cowherd came out on his show the other day and thinks that Bo Nix is still a sneaky MVP candidate, just comparing his numbers through 4 games last season to 4 games this season. And if he just continues to make that progression, the Broncos are coming out of Philadelphia with a win and heading to London with a win, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So we've got a great week of content. I got an interview with the Philadelphia creator as soon as we hang up with all y'all, so I will ask a ton of questions about how the Broncos can exploit them. Massive shout out to my main man, Bronco Bob in Abilene, Texas, who sent me not only this sick jacket that he had in his closet, but also a Wheaties box with John Elway on it. And this is, I got to like rearrange my man cave and get this here, but just so cool, man. Broncos country truly is the absolute best. And we're beating the Philadelphia Eagles, guys, and we got a ton to believe in. I'll get it by Sunday.